Hey, this is Dan here with Adeo Decks. We are located in Evergreen, Colorado. This is one of our projects that we're working on right now. We're located around 7,400 feet elevation. This deck is being built by CAL FIRE code, not your residential code, due to the fire mitigation. We have about 1,500 square feet of decking, and this deck is being built on top of a garage, and it's a 3-level deck. I want to show you what we've done with the framing. We got the decking going on, and as you can see, we got some snow and, you know, working through the snow. So come check it out and see what we got going on. So here's the framing of the deck. So we have our main beam right there, which is a glulam beam, a 6 by 18 by 18 feet. We have different joist sizes on this deck. We have 2 by 12s, 2 by 10s, 2 by 8s, and 2 by 6s. We also have the angle of the roof. We have the slope coming down on this east side, going lower, and the west side, it's also going down. Of course, we had to use a crane to get this beam up onto the deck. Lower deck sitting on this glulam beam, it's a 4 by 6, and this one is about 60 feet long that we have it going from this section all the way towards the end. Of course, we're gonna have all of this enclosed. We did have to build this for a Class A roof, which is for fire rating, the highest fire resistance possible. I'll make another video about being more detailed about the fire rating and the roof, what we needed to do. So here we have our board that essentially where the deck's ending. The customers wanted to have something enclosed here. So we still have the water runoff covering it up. So we took the 2 by 12, covered it with EPDM. That way any water runoff is coming down. We're gonna cover this with hardy siding. We're gonna have a fascia board here. This is all will be enclosed. They don't want any critters. Water can still get out, no critters get in. That's a common request that I get for decking. Something, as you can see right here, how we did this post here, we put them onto the roof itself. So we put these 2 by 6s at an angle. That way, any of the rafters underneath that 4 by 4 post is sitting on top of that. So that way the weight gets distributed, so it's not just one. And we did do reinforce underneath the deck in the garage. And this deck is sitting on a 7-inch concrete wall for the garage. There is an engineer architect who's involved. He's on site. He's the one that built the plan. He comes out if we have any questions. He does inspections. So this is everything that we've done here has been approved by the county. Everything is doing up to code. This is not something that we've just decided to put together and hopefully it works. Let me show you some more. Old deck, we had it line up here where it just ended at the house there. The homeowners wanted to have the deck to be extended and to have stairs to go down that way. So we ended up, they have a dog, so they wanted to have an enclosed whenever they didn't want the dog on the deck. They have a gate here and the gate here. So all of this was added on. So we extended and we're gonna do a staircase going down. We got the landing built out that way. So this is all, this deck is an addition. The way we're gonna have the decking is gonna run at an angle with this house here. So we're going to run it from here. That's where we're going to do the 6, 7, and 9-inch boards. We're going to run them all to the house in this way. And that'll be done in a later video of what will explain how we, how all the finished product looks like. Just want to show how the bare bones look after it's been built. So what we've done here, they had some cedar soffit underneath here. Because we need to build to Class A or fire rating, we had to use some hardy siding underneath for the soffit. And we did have to build a Class A roof on here. So we had to put down some ISO board and then EPDM in order to make it a Class A roof due to us being above 6,500 feet elevation. So anything above 6,500 feet elevation has to be built to CAL FIRE code due to the wildfires that do happen in Colorado. And what that means is you have to use different materials on specific things that have a higher fire rating. Certain composites would not be able to be used on here. We wouldn't be able to leave the roof as it is. So there are things that we did have to change in order to make this project happen. All right, so we're inside the garage here. We had to do some reinforcements. So here we ended up adding 4 2 by 4s to the current 2 by 4 stud wall all the way to the top. This is where we have that glulam beam that runs across the board here. We did a reinforcement out in that section there. And then in the back, we also reinforced where the 4 by 4 posts were sitting on out into that section. We reinforced it with 2 by 4s together. And then we are also installing a metal beam that you've seen earlier that is going to be reinforcing the beam that's underneath the deck here. So here we have a triple 2 by 12 beam And we're adding the two metal C-channels on here in order to support the roof and support all the weight of the roof on top of this channel here. And these are the concrete walls where the beam is sitting on, and these are 7-inch walls for the concrete. So this is the wall here that the deck sits on. So this garage was an addition to the garage that they've had. So this is where the reinforcement comes in. Like I said, it's a very complex deck, but here it is. Okay, so this is where the garage ends, and we were above earlier. We extended the deck out to the corner here. This beam here was existing. We added an LVL beam that ran across to here. And we do have 2 levels where the step is right here is where the step leads, or where the step comes down. And you can see the 2x8 joists that we have running across here. All of this will be enclosed. This is why we have the EPDM dry below system, or rain escape, whatever you want to call it, to shed all the water. This is all going to be enclosed with slotted pine. That way it's going to have a nice clean look underneath here. And this is something we'll show you once we get to that point. And then you can see here on the angle of the roof of how the roof is moving towards the house. That's why we put that EPDM there, in order to have the rain escape, all the water shed back towards the back of the angle, so none of the water goes into the garage and creating ice here on their driveway. So we're on top. This is the main deck here. We're gonna have a hot tub in that area. So we have 2x12s that are attaching to this beam, this section. We have 2x10s here. We have 2x8s in that section there. And then we have 2x6s in that section. We already got some decking, but it's gonna be at an angle, so we're gonna get that corrected. For here, we use the EPDM as the rain escape system, or as a dry below system. EPDM performs much better in my opinion, as far as any rain systems that we install to keep dry. As you've seen before, the roof is angled out to the front. So we have this section here. That way any water gets in, it gets pushed back to the back versus going to the front. The section out in the corner over there, they also have EPDM, and that's underneath where I'll show you, still not covered up, what we'll be doing there. The roof is already existing. We did replace both 4x4 posts. We did rough cedar. I will show you how we did those posts and how we connected them out. Again, we have them on top of the roof laying there. So with this decking, we have, the reason we use 2x12s here is for the hot tub. That's about 7,000 pounds that gets added to the roof. We are using a Decorator's Voyage line here, and we're using different boards. We're using 6, 7, and 9-inch boards. I'll make a video later once we have all the decking installed, and you'll be able to see all of this. This is the main area here, and the customers decided to change the way they structured the deck just because they knew what they've used. The last time they got it rebuilt was in '92. It's time for them to get a new deck, and they decided to change out how they built it out and how they, what functionalities they have for the deck. We are doing lights here. We are doing electrical. The gas line is already run. We're just gonna re-put the barbecue grill that's there, but this is all stuff that we can do when it comes to building out a deck. All right, so we had to replace these 6x6 posts. The homeowner said he didn't want to see the bottom of them ever again. Don't blame them. We replaced that one, this one here. Again, we have it sitting on this, it's not attached to the frame, so that way the load from the roof does not attach to the frame of the deck, and that way they don't play with the movement that does happen from the 80-degree temperature swings we get here in Colorado. So we have this post here, and we replaced that full post as well for 6x6 rough cedar posts to hold up this roof. We got everything covered in joist tape to protect the joist, to give the joist longevity. That way any of the water gets repelled off of the joists. No water goes into the joist, which gives it a longer life. This is something we do standard on all of our decks. Okay, so we had a lot of challenges building this deck. One of the big challenges, in a very unique way we solved it, was building out for this step down here to be level with this roof here, for the distance to be equal on both sections. And the reason being is they want to put a sail. This is going to be, of course, west facing, so whenever in the summertime they get a lot of heat, there's going to be a sail put out through here. So what my guys have done, took a bolt with a piece of string, attached nails to the outside here and here, and then lined it up to where it would be the same exact length from the top to the corner here. That way when the framing is being built out, it is exactly parallel. Okay, so when the guys were building out the framing, this is how they measured it for the bolt to line up to the end of the, let me move this out of the way. So for the bolt to line up to the end and having the same exact distance from here up to the top, then moving it over. Again, same measurement from here to the nail and getting it lined up. That's the best solution we found for this. I think it's a very useful solution. And if I have run into this again, this will be something that we'll be using, make the angle fit for the deck. And this is something that, you know, is a simple solution for a very complex problem to get this to line up perfectly. If you ever need to line something up on a deck, just, you know, sometimes you got to think outside the box in order to make it happen. Hey, so this is Dan here. So thanks for watching this video about this deck. We're going to have a lot more videos coming up as far as the projects goes and what we do and during the build process. So that way you'll be able to see. This is the most complex deck that I have built and my guys have built. When I took this into Jefferson County to get a permit, the inspector, the plans reviewer, said that this was the most complex deck he's seen, and he's been working at Jefferson County for 13 years. I might run into one of these again later on, but this is not a deck that I get every day. I'm really happy that, you know, the way this project is turning out and the way this is going, and the homeowners are happy as well. Stay tuned. We'll definitely keep you updated on this project and what the finished results look like, and we'll definitely be having more videos of different projects and how we build the decks. That way you'll be able to see how we build and what our results look like.